Wake Up MLS here just after match day 30, recording on Labor Day. So if you're out there watching this video and you're pissed off that the Labor Day weekend is already passed, that sucks. Good thing here is that you get to now listen to some MLS content from yours truly, along with a great cast and crew joining me today. So as usual, we have Hector from Insert Name FC. We've got Hitman Honda, and we've got Xiaoyan on from Rave Green TV. Sorry, back on Wake Up MLS. It's been a few weeks now, probably since right before All-Star, even though we did do some pretty awesome content in Columbus. If you haven't seen it already, folks, go check it out on our channel here on the Goals TV channel. Some in-person content there. But look, for today's video, we're going to be reacting to some of the biggest results that we saw on match day 30. We're getting really, really close to decision day. More than a few teams kind of on that fringe playoff line. Will they make it? Won't they make it? We'll discuss some of that today. Some big results did impact where some of these teams lie on the table and how those playoff standings are affected. So let's go ahead and jump right in, guys. The first one that I want to talk about, because it was really interesting. I know Xiaoyan loves the Red Bulls so much. Let's bring him up. Look, the 2-0 at home, huge L to take for a number of reasons. I think the biggest one is that this puts Philadelphia, who we have absolutely dunked on this show. I'll be honest, I can't think of a single person on this show who actually likes the Philadelphia Union. Maybe we'll bring someone in as a Union fan to have that debate with us at some point. But look, they walked into Jersey, got the dub. It was 2-0 the first 15 minutes, guys. 2-0 quick. I mean, they probably could have gotten a few more. Red Bulls had some opportunities, but ultimately the game went the way that it went right from the get-go. Are Philly going to make playoffs? Who wants to take that one?
Maybe.
Oh, don't ride the fence, yes. Xiao. Give me a yes or no, bro.
Sadly, yes, they will make the playoffs.
So right now, they sit just below the line, and they're a point off of Atlanta, who actually got a result to themselves. Fair play. Game is game. They're 1 point off that line. So they're going to overtake Atlanta, maybe even overtake Toronto, which would put them in 8th. Is that possible?
Yeah, I think so.
They're clicking right now in a really great way.
I mean, if they win their one game in hand, they're above Toronto. So it's like, it's really not far-fetched.
Yeah, true. Atlanta also have a game in hand, so we have to see how that plays out. They could be a 9th after that, but still ahead of Toronto, like you said. This team's just so weird, man. Does Philly kind of feel like Seattle in the sense that they started off the season just terrible, to an extent, right? Like just not what we expect from a team that consistently makes playoffs. As Jim Curtin famously said, 90% better than what most of the leagues have seen recently. Most of the teams in the league have seen recently. And they were just, they couldn't find a result. They couldn't get one anywhere. They had Seattle. They had to come back against Seattle. They were dropping points left and right elsewhere. And now over the last, let's say month and a half, 2 months, they found a way to turn things around slowly. And they're right there, man. I don't know. It's a really interesting spot if you're the Union. I don't know how to feel about this team. I don't know if they'll make playoffs.
They're too inconsistent.
Yeah, they're so up and down. They're the Gattuso meme.
I mean, it's more of the teams below. It's the teams that are below that are keeping them at that place. If not, then I likely would just be in the mud.
I mean, if it wasn't for the fact that the Eastern Conference is like it's so wide open right now, I think there's still teams that are in the bottom side of the Eastern Conference that still have actually somewhat of a percentage of a shot. I think Philadelphia. I mean, if you're going back since we came back from Leagues Cup, lost to Columbus. Obviously now with this win against the Red Bulls, I think obviously at least coming off a positive result. And then, I mean, maybe you can say some props to Leagues Cup where they found some form, went pretty far in the tournament. But I mean, the next 4 matches for Philadelphia, you got Miami, you got NYCFC, you're going to take on DC United. Atlanta could be interesting. But those are their next matches. So, I mean, at least their next 3 is not necessarily going to be guaranteed victories. And I'll even say that with DC United, even with the on it kind of Gattuso meme also applied with DC United as well. So, I mean, it's possible that Philadelphia Union can make a run. And I think it's just because that bottom half of the Eastern Conference is very wide open.
There's a real scenario where the only game they win is the DC game. Like, there's a real scenario where that happens. I think they'll lose to Miami. I think they'll lose to NYCFC at that baseball stadium. They might beat DC at home, but like you said, maybe sometimes maybe good DC United shows up, and sometimes maybe good. I think that maybe like Benteke, who knows, right? And so that game to me is even 50-50. And then you have Atlanta. If what we saw like a week ago from Atlanta is what shows up for that game, sure. Atlanta and DC are both just giant question marks. So The next 4 games very crucial, but the rest of the schedule: Orlando, Columbus, Cincinnati. Like, I don't know, man. I think it's gonna be very difficult to make playoffs. Very difficult.
I say they make it.
So you think they make it as a wild card?
100%.
100%. Lock it in for Xiaoyan.
Hashtag Xiaoyan knows, baby.
Hashtag Xiaoyan knows. I like that. I don't know, man. I'm so torn.
NYCFC, it could be a weird game as well.
Hey, dude, all I gotta say is with the Hector hashtag Xiaoyan knows, all I gotta say is my parlays speak for themselves now.
Yep.
You got receipts?
I haven't seen a single parlay. So.
Yeah, you got receipts?
Yeah, it's on my Twitter, bro.
That's true. Okay, fair enough, bro. I gotta look at this. I
gotta follow.
I'm gonna reply hashtag Xiaoyan knows.
Bro, honestly, you need to tweet that when you tweet out like your parlay receipts. You gotta like. I saw the one from Emerald Queen this past weekend, but I'm saying if you ever do that again, you got just keep tweeting that out.
But the thing is, I couldn't tweet my last one like that. The last parlay I did before that was Sounders LAFC in the playoffs, and like I can't tweet that and like.
I know, man. Public. I need to see it, bro. I need to see it. I think from now to the end of the season, we should make that a thing. You're gonna keep the Xiaoyan nose train rolling.
We'll try.
All right, man. This was an interesting game. I got in this one, Red Bulls had opportunities, man. Significantly outshot Philly. It was like 20-12 or 21-12, something like that. It's just like 4 of them were on target. They got to figure out how they get back into goal scoring form. I think it was an uncommon L. They took it home. I don't know if Philly makes the playoffs or not. I guess we'll find out. But these next, like Hector said, the next 4 or 5 games, very, very interesting to follow them. If they don't win the majority of these next 3 to 4, they don't get maximum points, let's say in like at least 2 of them, I'm going to say it right now, they're not making it. Not making it in the playoffs.
I think they'll just
we definitely need a Philadelphia fan in here. I mean, especially like from all the outrage that I got from the whole the whole Philadelphia's mid video.
I might get Jordan from the stateside show. I think he's a Union fan. Yeah, because he seems to chime in whenever I dunk on them publicly on Twitter. So he's always kind of there, lurking in the shadows. So yeah, I might I might bring him on and see what we can do. But yeah, man, I love to hear from any Union fans in the comments down below. Let us know, guys. I mean, maybe I'm being too harsh. I'm not sure, but you know your team better than anyone. Let us know if you feel like there's some outside chance that Philly not just makes the wild card, but steps into a playoff spot before decision day. I don't know if it's that straightforward.
They let me down in that final, so I'm like, you know what? They could hold corn.
And with that, let's move on to another fan base that got let down this weekend. Austin FC hosted.
Austin just aren't good against the Whitecaps.
I don't know what it is, bro. I don't know what it is, man. Ednon was here last week helping us preview this matchup. We all sat here and called it a must-win. A must-win for Austin FC if they want to be relevant in that playoff discussion. I heard the fans booing at the end of this game, booing Wolf and the team for how they performed.
Wait, can I just pause you for a second, Jose?
Yeah.
Remember when Hernan was like saying like this team is like playoff, like guaranteed playoff team, like, and now we're at this point where they're like not even like
play the clip.
They're just this is all I gotta say is like that was ridiculous. Like we were trying to be like nice about it, Hector and I, but Hernan just took it to a whole nother level. It was ridiculous.
It's good, bro. Like as a fan, you should support your team almost to a belligerent state, and I respect it.
No,
it. Like
no, not to a belligerent state. No. I think you should support your team, but be like somewhat. I don't mind a little bit of optimism, but that was just ridiculous. It was like so over. They won like they were in a really good 5-game stretch.
Really
like,
good run.
Really good. Yeah, and I was like, this is good, but like there's like 20 more games left.
That compelling though. That was the worst part of it all. Like,
I tell you what, it really was. I was at that game. I was at the Galaxy game at the Q2 because I was going to meet up with.
That was the only compelling win. Like,
yeah, that's it.
But it was the one that fueled the entire fan base. Like, dude, they were convinced it was 2022 again. They're going to be back in the Western Conference Final. Right?
And I'll give them props for that win. But when you looked at the Dynamo win, the FC Dallas, wait, no, they lost to FC Dallas, or did the first match?
They haven't beaten. Oh no, they did at the Q2. They beat us once.
Yeah, so like at least that run of games that obviously we went from can't even fit an 11v11 in practice to we're playoff worthy, baby. Just wait till the summer transfers come in. Like, I try to give them their flowers. I was like, hey, they're being competitive. Who cares about like how you win the games? Just as long as you get the dub. And I even, like Xiaoyan said, we're not criticizing Austin. We were just saying we can't just throw them up there on playoff worthy when they were literally at I don't even think we had them at our top potential. But
No,
like
The
I don't
weeks
think so.
before that.
Weeks before that, we did.
But yeah, so yes,
It
but
was just such a big jump.
and,
well, look,
and now
monthly
we see
power
why.
monthly power rankings are next week, right? So we're gonna figure out kind of like after August who we think lines up where. Austin's gonna be one that I think most people in the chat are probably going to be paying attention to, right? Because they've moved. I would say they've arguably moved the most in our rankings. I can't think of another team who's shifted as much as they have. Maybe St. Louis, but
undeservedly, but yeah.
Seattle's actually a team that's shifted quite a bit and probably will continue to move upwards in trajectory, right, Xiaoyan? I mean, your team's moving right now, despite the Portland loss. It is what it is. We'll talk about it.
We just lost to LAFC and lost to Portland. Probably will lose to Columbus.
Oh, okay. But again, the teams you just reeled off, not the easiest teams to go up and play against, right? We've all seen it.
But those are the important games.
That's fair, but it's also 3 playoff teams. All we're saying is, I'm not saying we're going to shoot you up to the very top, right? I'm just saying that we had Seattle like in bottom of the barrel, right? And then they were at remontada. We might see them go up to mid or something along those lines, right? So you're going to be a playoff team. You can't knock it, right? Like, come on, Xiaoyan, support your team a little bit, bro. We'll get there. I
am supporting my team.
And that is Austin versus Vancouver.
And that is Austin versus Vancouver. Look, so going back to this game, man, I mean, look, it could have been 2-0 for those who didn't watch. There was honestly an amazing.
Austin just suck against what I don't know what it is. They always just fold.
It's Ryan Gauld, bro. Gauld had a fantastic left-footed curler right past Stuver into that side netting, and he got called back for being offside. That's a shame because the goal was beautiful, but it didn't matter. Like, I don't know. Austin just wasn't clinical. Didn't have enough. I don't know, cutting edge up front. But I feel like Vancouver had this one from the beginning. Like it felt like a home game in BC.
Austin, no energy. That's what it came down to. They didn't give out the energy that they wanted to win. They're just there like, oh, it's just another game.
Yeah, bro. I don't know. It was really weird. I mean, if you look at the stats too, like neither of these teams were like wildly impressive. But bro, Austin had 6 shots, 0 on frame.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Nothing.
Oof.
That's so bad, bro. Like I honestly can't think of many teams who would only put up 6 shots in a game. I'm trying to think of like San Jose's worst day at the office, right? Like 6, but then to get none of those on frame. I mean, bro, is Driussi that bad? Has Driussi fallen off?
I think he has.
Is he done?
Fall off like crazy.
Would Austin benefit from moving Sebastian Driussi on?
Yes.
Send him back to Argentina.
I mean, it's just like you can tell like Driussi isn't the guy he once was. Maybe Austin needs to find like a new Lord and Savior.
Like Giassi's out of this.
No.
I mean,
not at all.
Was Ring wearing the captain's armband? That's pretty important.
Oh, I knew when Emma mentioned that shit, you were gonna or somebody was gonna find a way to reference that again at some point on another.
Do we know if Ring was wearing the captain's armband?
I believe.
Did we mess up?
I believe he was. You know what though, Bukhari, as much as he got glazed by Edna on the last episode, he had like a decent game. It wasn't bad. He just, I don't know, bro. He was off up front. Like he really was like trying little step overs, trying to get a shot.
Austin's attack in general. Like,
shots hitting the outside side of the net. Like it's just, I don't know. It felt like Austin just really, like they were all hungover. Everybody got drunk the night before, and they weren't ready for the Canadians to come down and play them in their own stadium. That's what it felt like.
Matthew McConaughey was excited for UT season to kick off, and he just wanted the boys
college football.
Learn about American football.
It was wild, bro. I don't know. They're really like, I look at their lineup and everything. You can't be mad at this lineup at all. If you're an Austin FC fan, if you're a Caps fan, same thing. You can't be mad at your lineup at all either. These teams both kind of brought what we thought they would bring. It's just Vancouver showed up. I don't know, man. It's a really weird time for Austin fans. I think that right now there's no guarantee they make playoffs. It's going to be between them and Dallas probably. And we'll talk about Dallas here in a second, in a little bit. They also shit the bed in their own way. But I don't know, man. Austin, it's like they're given these opportunities to cement themselves in relevancy in the league, and they shit them every time. Like, I don't even know what their fans think at this point. But hopefully they keep showing up. Hopefully they keep coming to the games, keep supporting, because this team needs it right now. I don't know what else they got to do. But they got the game winner in that one. All right, more MLS actions. Only MLS can deliver it. Houston goes on the fucking road and deals LAFC not a 1-0 like Honda thought it was going to be, a 2-0 loss. Bro, Hector, man, when you're watching this, like, I don't know, man, were you thinking, you know what, we really are one of the best teams on the road in the league, or shit, we got lucky?
I think what we saw was the Dynamo just finding their time, right? Just buying their time. The press to LAFC, which is unreal. I'm impressed how athletic they are to maintain that kind of press, to be on you like white on rice the entire game is impressive. But I think the Dynamo, this time versus the Western Conference final, they kept cooler heads prevailed, except for Ponte. But
Hey,
and a little bit of
not a bad
Herrera.
goal. Not a bad goal.
But I think it was just finding their opportunity. And I mean, they snuck one in for Ponte, snuck one in, and then Inali, man, just a beautiful first goal for the MLS for him. Unfortunately, I think he's going to be out for a good chunk of this end of the season. Hopefully, we get him back for playoffs if that's a possibility. But that, I think, if anything, that was the more class of a goal. But Ponce, you know what? Like I said, I don't care how you put him in, just put him in.
Yeah.
Just score goals. That's all you need to do. I mean, Ponce is definitely, I would say the frequency of goals that he's scoring so far, it's definitely a lot closer from the last time he scored. So that's a positive to take, especially if you're a Dynamo fan that's looking for some promising attacks. But I think, once again, I've said this more and more often. It's like a broken record. This defense just keeps you in the game. And I mean, also, Steve Clark, just masterclass on his behalf. Solid
legend Steve Clark.
Solid goalkeeper performance. You guys wanted me to pick Memo Ochoa over him. I was really reluctant about it. Kind of was leaning into it.
You would take him. Don't lie. You would take him over Steve Clark.
I would.
Yeah, the marketing aspect, of course, but
nah, bro. Look, man.
Bro, give me the Salvadoran goalkeeper that was doing the no-look throws.
I'm telling you, bro. Memo Ochoa, just for the vibes, would be a hell of a signing, bro. You know what's crazy? I didn't even realize. I watched some of the game, but not all of us. I just caught a lot of the highlights as MLS 360 went on. Houston had 63% of the ball at BMO. In front
honestly,
of the
part of me just thinks LAFC didn't care.
It's just so weird. I mean,
not if you're pressing like that. If you're pressing like that, you do care to some extent.
And not even just that. I mean, look at their lineup, right? I mean, unless you count Olivier Giroud as an out-and-out starter, that's the only out-and-out starter that got benched. I mean, they had Boanga, Bogusz, Oliveira, Hollingshed started, Ilie, Valencia, Aaron Long, even though I don't rate him. They had plenty of starters out there. And like Hector said, they were pressing pretty well. It's just, dude, the ability to play through the press, it looks like is kind of what solved it. I'm wondering how that carries over into the home match you guys have coming up. We'll preview the game. We'll talk about it, but I don't know, man. It's really interesting.
I think with the press, like I said, the press is like, I think the Dynamo learned a lot from that playoff game against the LAFC, because that press was just being a massive thorn to the Dynamo. But you see players like Mikal kind of adapting to it. Because there was a few slip ups from Dynamo's defense, but you always saw someone able to come back and cover for that slip up, or LAFC just not being able. There was moments where LAFC could have definitely put one in, but once again, it took somebody to step up, do something solid defensively, or Steve Clark coming up big with a save. So
you credit this more to the individual players or to Ben Olsen?
I think the structure of the back line, man. I props to the back line. I think for me, it's once again, it's this defense that keeps you in it. I think this defense always makes you go into every game thinking that you have a good shot at winning the game.
Yeah, that's fair. I like that. And obviously, I'm not going to lie. As an FC Dallas fan, I am jealous as shit. I wish I could say my defense was like the highlight of my team and that we were pretty good at stopping teams as good as LAFC from scoring. But we'll talk about them here in a second. And in terms of this game, we're going to preview here in a few minutes. LAFC coming now to Shell Energy down in Houston. Houston trying to replicate the performance that we just saw. I think you said it. What was it last week's episode, Hector? Now dealing again with a pissed off LAFC. It'll be curious to see how this second leg goes, if you will. We'll find out. On top of this one, man, we saw another Texas team, but on the losing side of this one, Dallas hosted the Rapids, lost 3-2, coughed up 2 different leads in this game. And it's a good Colorado team, don't get me wrong, right? Just qualified for Triple C, top 4 in the West, yada yada. They're under Chris Armas, they look significantly improved when compared to recent seasons. But I don't want to take anything away from Colorado. Colorado did what they were supposed to do.
But Dallas should have won that game.
Dallas fucking should have won this game. Like, I don't know how else to say it, bro. Xiaoyan said it the way I said it, but I want to say it with more oomph. We should have won this game. Like,
This is as MLS as it gets, by the way.
Bro, I just don't understand. Like, we score in the first opening few minutes. We look good. And then, 5-6 minutes later, one counterattack and they score.
This is kind of like the Seattle game, like all over again on it. Like, you guys have been in good form. You think things are on the up, and then you guys just absolutely just drop the ball at the end.
I just don't get it. It's like this team goes on such a high from a big road win or like whatever it may be, get ahead of themselves and get fucking dunked on. Like, you know how fucking frustrating this is? I mean, like I said, we haven't had a season like this in forever. But when you have a record signing performing the way he's performing, right? What, 13, 14 goals?
He's not going to stay, though, at this rate.
Yeah, the rest of the team, like, step the fuck up. Like, what are we doing, man? What are we doing? I just, in the back line, I don't get it.
Dang, Shion's over here saying that Moose is going to pull a Abe Simpson. Just walk right in, walk right out.
Honestly, I don't blame him.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't blame him. Like, bro, imagine, honestly, what we should do, sell Jesus Ferreira, because I'll be honest, he came back into this game for the first time all season. We're on match day 30. For the first time,
he's still getting good offers, Ferreira.
Well, for the first time all season, I was going to say, we see all three of our DPs on the field at one time. We have yet to see that all year long. So it finally happened. Velasco had his first appearance for Dallas all season long. Ferreira got back from injury, and Musa was already out there. At this point, Ferreira, there was a point where he was just like giving passes away, doesn't look that sharp, and I'm sure he isn't because he's been on and off of injuries. But I feel like we haven't had him all year anyway. So sell him and get a top-tier center back. Like, I will take that tomorrow, pair that with Musa. Hell, even sell Velasco to Boca Juniors in the offseason and go get a top-tier center mid. And I feel like we'll be golden, man. Like, I don't know. We don't have the discipline or consistency right now to be relevant in playoffs. If we make the playoffs, which is still a decent size if, we will barely get by. We may win the wild card if we make it that far. We might win it because this team, as much as they can score goals, can't stop them to save their lives right now. So I don't know. We're actually probably worse than Portland is.
You sure you don't want a back line instead of a center midfield?
I want a center back and a center mid. I still think we need some. We can't. Yadamendi at 30, whatever, 34, 35 cannot be your best center mid. He just can't.
Yeah,
fair point.
You need like a good young dude that can just play the majority of games, and Yadamendi comes on and he's the spark in the last 25 to 30. But you can't have him running as much as he does right now. It's just there's no way he survives, and he hasn't. He's had more than a few injuries this season.
I need FC Dallas to like just shit out another academy product. I think that's the thing that I feel like it's been like missing for a while for FC Dallas. It's just another top-notch academy product. I remember everyone was trying to tell us that, Jesus Ferreira and Pepe have two little brothers that are playing in the academy right now, which after that, I haven't heard anything about them.
Pepe's brother still is for an MLS Next Pro, but yeah, he hasn't worked with the first team yet.
So yeah, like we just need another academy product because it's been a while. I think honestly, the last one was Ricardo Pepe. At least that's what it feels like for me.
The one that I think it will be Nolan Norris. He's played in a couple games this year. He's very, very raw and honestly kind of a hothead. I think the biggest concern with him is he's like Gavi for Barcelona. Anybody in the audience watches La Liga, the guy just trucks everybody, and that's cool. Like, it's great to have that tenacity, but bro, you can't get a suspension like every other time you play. Like, you need to be available. So I think it's going to be him based off what I've seen. His passing is solid. His through balls are solid. Great work rate. Just needs to get a little bit bigger. He's still very young. But I agree with you. Dallas needs something. They almost need to go back to square one, back to its roots, and try to bring some youth talent into this side because I don't think we could do what we did with Musa. I think with Musa, we got very lucky, to be honest, that the signing just worked out. Because if it hadn't, this season would be I'd be so down bad. I don't even know if we would do Wake Up MLS.
Trust in Logan Farrington, bro.
That's true, bro. But again, imagine a world where Logan gets an injury or something else happens, right? It's just like one thing after another this season. And again, we might make playoffs. But I'm telling you right now, we will not go far. And it'll be another season where it's just like, okay, cool. What has to change this offseason? I don't know. We got rid of our coach. That was step one. We need to figure out a way to retool the team because defensively we're absolutely trash. And this game showed it. Not to go on a soapbox about FC Dallas, but at the end of the day, Martin Boss did not play well. The back line transitionally did not play well. Musa got a fantastic goal after just coming off the field, onto the field. Like the first touch was a header into the back of the net, but he also missed a sitter. It's just little things here and there. 20 plus shots altogether are great from Dallas, but only 6 on target's terrible. It almost gives me Austin FC vibes to an extent, So not to exaggerate that much, but it kind of does. And look, on the other side, Rapids, I mean, what are you going to say? Are you guys scared of this Colorado team if you face them in playoffs? Anyone?
Yes.
Why?
Our defense
of Colorado?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're cracked, mate.
I mean,
Hector's like, I'm not really scared.
I mean, we handled them in Colorado, so.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
If there's one team that wouldn't be afraid, it's Houston.
I mean, they
I
did
was gonna
just
say the
handle
same
LAFC.
thing too.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Hey,
I'm not delusional.
I don't know. There's just a kind of like a surprise factor with Colorado. You just don't know what version of them you'll get, and then their defense can be good, their offense can be good, and if everything clicks, I mean, like they have pieces everywhere, which is so interesting from top to bottom. Where if one of their guys is on form, it could benefit them defensively or offensively.
Yeah, they're one of the few teams in this league that's legitimately only gotten better as the season went on. Remember the beginning, we were just kind of saying over and over again that like, oh, they feel like they're still discovering themselves or like still trying to figure out how to put the pieces together.
I said they were good from the get-go.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
I don't know. Someone in chat, find me that clip, bro. Find me that clip.
I did. I was always bullish on
Jan was the only one because everybody else had.
Don't feed his ego, Honda.
No, because Honda knows, because that's the truth.
I think we were all very hesitant about that team.
I think so too. I think we played it kind of safe. Kind of safe.
I was more confident. I think that I said they were gonna have a good year.
Hey, listen, we gotta keep that hashtag Xiaoyan knows.
Hashtag Xiaoyan knows. That he does. That he does. Speaking of Xiaoyan knows, let's hopefully, you can give us some good intel about how this game went, right? Because it was your boys going down. Did not net out the way that the first game did, right? Because you guys won the first time down in Portland, correct?
Yep.
This time Portland taking it, weird goal, really weird goal by Mosquera, but I'm sure Mosquera will take it all day, every day. Also a weird day for Seattle attacking wise. I didn't know what to make of y'all's team, but you can allude to it a little bit more, Xiaoyan.
I mean, we were just bad.
I mean, it can't just be that simple.
We were bad.
Who specifically?
Xiaoyan knows.
The whole team minus Georgie Minungu. That's it. The whole team was fucking butt cheeks.
I saw you wanted Georgie to start. Did he start or no?
No, he came off the bench. As soon as we conceded, Georgie and Rui Diaz came on. My biggest issue was why were they not coming on before the goal happened? Because Morris was wank. Del Vega's on minutes restriction. Rothrock was good. But Jordan Morris played 90 straight minutes. Was poo-poo. Nuhu was poo-poo. Yeah, it's just like we didn't do anything. We didn't create any clear-cut chances. If we did, the half chances fell to Morris. And unfortunately, if it's not Minnesota United, he ain't bagging.
I mean, how many shots did he actually have? Yeah, as a striker, I will say this: he's not a striker. I don't know why he's being deployed as a striker. He's just not. Like, I don't really get it. I do think Jordan Morris is better than Xiaoyan gives him credit for, but I like him as a winger. I don't like him as a striker.
I don't like him starting this many games.
How many games he played?
Every single flipping game.
Well, that's good.
I was going to say I don't like him, period.
I mean, I'm pretty close to that point, but I know fans wouldn't like me saying that.
Hey, shot accuracy though. He took one shot? How many shots did he get?
He had 2 or 3 good opportunities. The one of them was a header he hit right at Crepeau. The rest he just blazed over or wide, or we just didn't do anything. It's kind of like the LAFC game all over again. We go up against a good team. We can't do anything. We can't break them down because we're playing the same lineup. It's the same personnel.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of tired of going to Sounders games.
Well, Sounders fans, maybe there's someone in the comments that can enlighten Xiaoyan, pull him back in. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I watched some of this game. It was one of the later games. I didn't catch the second half. But I did go back and just try to like piece things together. I think this game could have gone either way. Like it really could have.
Really?
The number of chances each time. Yes, 100%, bro. I mean, guys.
It's a 1-0 game.
It's a 1-0 game, and on top of that, if you just base off the stats alone, right? Again, I saw the first half where you guys had some decent chances, just couldn't take advantage of them. If you had, we're talking about a completely different scoreline here.
I didn't think we created any clear-cut chances in this game. That's the problem.
Not any big chances. I will say, like, big chances fell to the way of Portland. They really did. And one of those big chances was, again, in my opinion, mistakenly converted. Mosquera didn't mean to score that. He'll tell you that right now. It just happened to go
definitely
in.
meant to shoot it. Just knew who just decided to give in a weird half-ass tackle. That was so bizarre.
Yeah, it was a weird play. But I mean, at the end of the day, both of you guys had double-digit shots. They just had 2 big chances, and you guys didn't have any. I mean, it really came down to moments in this game.
Yeah, but that's the thing is, but that's a big theme for us throughout the season in these big games, is moments. And that's what's killing us, is we don't have any big game players in these big games.
Yeah.
That's what's killing us.
That's actually a good take. I will agree with that.
We've played LAFC 4 times and we didn't score a single goal from open play. How is that even possible?
I don't know. This is one of those games where you really want to see if Morris is up front and has to
Morris
be the
has
guy.
only scored one goal ever against the Timbers. One.
I think you guys need. Honestly, I know he's 30, but you need to be demanding more out of Rusnak. Like it just has to happen. You know.
I mean, Rusnak's. I mean, Sounders fans are really like dropping their pants from right now. I think obviously he's having a better year this year, but he's just not a DP. Yeah, he's just not a DP worthy player. Like he'll stat pad against the likes of Minnesota and whatnot, but like all these big games, he ghosted every single time against LAFC. He ghosted in this game. Like, just needs to be better from these higher paid players. I think Pedro was good for the fact he hasn't started in so long. I think he was good, and again, was still coming back from injury.
Is that why he got yanked?
Yeah, again, minutes restriction. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think Rothrock was good, but the thing is, Rothrock's not going to be a difference maker in my opinion. Yeah,
it's tough, bro.
It's tough. I don't like our offense like at all. It's so dry. It's like drier than like I don't know the Sahara Desert.
I didn't know where you're gonna go with that one. Yeah, I was like, I don't know where he's gonna go with this one.
They need a striker to pair up with De La Vega. That's what they need.
No, we need more than it. We need a striker and we need a 10. We need two big offensive players.
I would say, because I would say Rusnak's not doing it for me anymore. He's fine. He's a fine player, but like he's not a DP. You know, if he's your DP as a 10, I'm expecting a baller. At least from the lens
like
of
an Evander. Like Evander's like 12 goals, 12 assists.
Yeah.
Rusnak's 10 goals, 5 assists, or 5 goals, 10 assists. The thing is, most of those goals are PKs. So it's like
the Cole Palmer effect.
Rusnak to San
Jose. Whoa.
Xiaoyan, would you say that Seattle is just like a team that just one good off season and they could get back on the?
It depends, like a Colorado Rapids-esque off season in regards to like the amount of signings. I'm not saying those type of signings, but like Colorado made like 5 big signings this like the recent off season. If we did something like that, yes, I could totally see it. But it's like but that's so difficult to do, right?
It's a big gamble. It's a lot of spending. That if it doesn't go right, that's all the spending you probably hit. Like I'm willing to bet Armas went in there and was like, "Look, we're gonna spend all the money we would have spent in the next 5 seasons or 4 seasons right now. We're gonna do it right now."
He's so confident with the guy because like they got steals. Like Stefan, what was on a free, Vines was on a free. Like
what was Mihalovic's
transfer? I don't know, but like they got him at a good time when he's wanting to go, and it's just like they got all these guys at the perfect time.
Their value dropped.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, Jordy Mihalovic, I'm sure his value at that point.
His stock was at an all-time low. Like,
he kind of needed this bounce back in MLS, to be honest.
Yeah,
and I think you could say all these guys, Sam Vines, Stefan, they all needed a bounce back.
Yeah.
Exactly. And now look at them now. Like they have a really good top goalkeeper in the league, a top 10. Cole Bassett's back and he's doing okay. It's just like they have good pieces. Like you get a little bit from Omer, you can get a little bit from Bassett. It's just like you have pieces, but from Seattle, it's just like you don't know who's gonna do anything.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I don't know, man. You got to retool. It's got to be the 10, got to be a striker, and maybe even like a center back, right? Like,
I think a center back too to pair up with Yamar. Yes, 100%. Yeah.
I think just like that spine, if that gets corrected, like I'm not saying instantly, but you feel it as quickly as Colorado has felt it. Just the positive uplift across the board.
Exactly.
So we'll see. Seattle's still a playoff team this season, but
yeah, I mean, we'll probably squeak it. But the thing is like everyone is so depressed. I think for not everyone. I don't want to speak for all the fans, but like majority of fans are kind of depressed because it's like, okay, yeah, we'll make playoffs, and we'll maybe depending on who we get, we'll win the first game, but we're fucked after that. We play RSL or LAFC, we're screwed.
Yeah, I think we're in the same boat as well in Dallas, but yeah, I mean, it just you never know what happens, right? Experience does matter. Seattle has a lot of that when it comes to the postseason. So,
but the thing is
it could change.
We said this last year, and I think we're just gonna have a repeat of last year. I don't want to. I'm not gonna do like I'm not doing this whole vicious cycle. Like I already know what's gonna happen, and I'm not gonna fall for this trick twice. All
right, fair enough. Now I will say, if you end up being wrong, it'll be curious to see how that. I mean, hopefully you're just back on the show and willing to be back on the show that week because it'll be an interesting conversation. 100%.
We would beat RSL or LAFC in the playoffs.
Maybe.
No, come on, man.
Hey, man, you never know. RSL does not look like beginning of the season. RSL.
We couldn't even beat RSL when they were down bad in the playoffs. What do you think we're gonna do when they're actually good in the playoffs?
I don't know, man. The crazier shit has happened in football, in this sport, in this league, and just about anywhere. Crazier things have happened. So I'm not gonna completely say that Seattle's done, but I can see.
I don't think we're done. I mean, we'll make I think we'll just make the playoffs. But it's just like I think the Open Cup game was honestly our last. That was it. I think like pretty much we're just here for the the vibes for the rest of the season, as people would say. Like, I think that's honestly what we're here for. And that's why I just don't bother anymore. Like, I think I'm just most looking forward to decision day, having a good time, and then that's it.
Hell yeah. I'm right there with you, bro. Although I will say I'm still going to be going to games, just riding it out to the very end. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Let's know in the comments down below if you think Seattle has any kind of shot at doing anything, maybe I would say better than what fans expect of them heading into this postseason. And then finally, guys, to wrap up the entire MLS weekend of Matchday 30, St. Louis surprised many folks, despite being at home, surprised many folks taking down Honda's boys, the LA Galaxy.
Dude, the biggest sleeper team in the league right now is St. Louis. Biggest sleeper team.
True. I actually will agree with that statement because the signings have had a massive impact. But I'll say this. As much as we all kind of, at least Chayan and I kind of feel that St. Louis City is a crazy sleeper team right now, I think I'm going to backpedal what I said about some of the things I said about the Galaxy up to this point. I think Galaxy are not a good team yet. I think they're a decent team.
You're making Honda cry.
With good players.
Dude, look at him. He's crying. That's fucked up.
Dang, man, anyway, the dog side
team with good players.
That's what I think. I think a decent team with good players, because good teams, I think fundamentally don't lose to teams that are so far below them. Now, St. Louis City is not necessarily that far below. They are on the table, right? But that's indicative of the entire season up to this point. But on paper, this should have been a close game that you guys should have at least been able to hopefully hold on to, like as a draw. How that first goal went in, it kind of summarized a little bit what I'm talking about, right? The McCarthy giveaway, the shithousery in the box, the random open shot that Tucher, whatever his name is, actually got. All of that, right? The loss to FC Dallas, the loss to Austin, the loss to the Fire. It's just like as many highs as we see with the Galaxy this season, we've equally seen more than a few lows. And it makes me feel like Galaxy are still a year or two away from, maybe it's next season, I don't know, but from really being the Beckham, Roy Keane led Galaxy team that we saw, right? Like a true powerhouse team. Kind of what LAFC is now, or Columbus Crew is now. I think you're close, but even Painter's getting the stupid yellow at the end, right? Like now, isn't he out for El Tráfico?
Yeah, I think he is. I'm pretty sure he is.
It's just, I don't know, man. It's like little things here and there where I feel like Galaxy are going to be relevant, but they're not yet a good team. They just have good players, good one-off players that play well when the occasion calls for it.
I'll agree that they're not going to be that great team just yet, right? Obviously, there's building to have. Literally last season, what was it, 38 points? That's it?
Yeah.
Fucking horrible fucking season.
True.
Like, you got to think of that as well, too, when it comes to, like, repairing a team. Like, we're doing more than expected. Like, if you were talking about in the beginning of the season. However, right, it's not towards the places where, like, even winning the title. Like, look, we're losing to St. Louis, right, which we had the ball most of the time, right? We're losing to teams like Chicago Fire, Austin at that time, Dallas at that time. But, yeah, if we want to be that great team, we can't be losing to these guys. But we also have been beating teams like, for example, Real Salt Lake when they've been good. Minnesota, we went to their house and we tied them while they were good, right?
Yeah.
So
fair.
There's hope. There's hope that they'll be back, but maybe not.
I think, like I said, it's just going to take a little more from the individual talents that we see. That's really it. Like Peck, in all honesty, in this game against St. Louis, he was just doing too much. I know he got the goal, but there's also several times where he lost the ball trying to out-dribble 2 or 3 players. Like, bro, just move the fucking ball around. Move it around. Ping it around. Talk to Reus or whoever it is that hasn't gelled with you yet and find a way to create space for yourself. But I think you just picking up the ball on the sideline and trying to 40-yard carry it, sprint down the field by yourself with it, and then cut in, take on another defender, then try to get a shot off. It's just like too much. You know what I mean?
I was gonna say that, like, he's trying to be the hero, and he shouldn't be. He should be doing what they've been doing in the beginning of the year. Link up with Pain, so whoever the striker is up top, whether it's a false 9 with Reus or Joveljic, right? And then linking up with Ricky Puig or whoever's in that center attacking mid spot at that day, right? Just link up what they were doing in the beginning. That's the fluid football that we need, and not what we saw the other day.
Yeah, we'll see. Joveljic not starting too. I mean, also that hurts you a little bit up front. Painter's he's a winger. He's not a striker, so him starting up there is weird.
I was gonna say that's more of a formality because I don't know if you've watched the games, but he tends to open up to the wings as well too, and then like the center attacking mid ends up.
I think the front 3 just rotate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like free flowing. They just overlap each other all the time, and depending on where the ball is in the field, and between him, Peck, and Fagundes, like you guys just move. I agree with you, but on paper, Paintsel was like the starting winger or starting striker. I'm sorry. Miguel Berry came in, couldn't do much. To be fair, like Peck was trying to play him balls over the top, and Miguel Berry's just not that guy. Like, I mean, like into space behind the defenders, like a ball that you would play to like someone who's insanely fast or speedy, right? Like Miguel Berry's just not that guy. He's a guy, a focal point striker. You play it to him at his feet, and he holds up play. Just a lot of weird things here and there. That's what I've noticed. But anyway, this game, look, it doesn't impact the broader scope of where LA Galaxy will probably finish this season. Do you think, before we move on to just our preview section now, do you think that St. Louis City has any kind of outside chance at making the wild card?
With how they've been playing, I mean, if they keep winning, yeah, of course they do. But I don't know how many.
I think it's just fun to talk about, but I don't think so.
I don't know their schedule right now, so
I mean, the probability is probably very low compared to other teams that are competing for that wild card spot. But I mean, like we just saw Austin FC kind of missing out on an opportunity to MLS win against Vancouver. I don't want to keep pouring salt in the wound, Jose, but also same thing with FC Dallas. They had their missed opportunity. St. Louis, they didn't miss, right? So, I mean,
and they have an easier stretch of games. I'll say, I'm looking at it.
It is.
So they're in an opportune time. While there's certain teams that probably have a more gauntlet type final finish, especially when they're going up against other teams that are also in a similar position where they kind of need each other to lose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think St. Louis, all they have to do is just keep their heads down and just take it game by game and just hope that they handle their part and maybe the outside factors come into play where they can get that wild card spot.
The Everton strategy. I like it. They have New England, Minnesota, San Jose, Sporting Kansas City, LAFC, Houston, and Minnesota again.
Oh, that is
honestly,
so
bro. That's such a doable schedule. That is like such a doable schedule.
But there's just too much pressure, just way too much pressure, possibly to have to win out almost every single game.
But that's the situation that they're in. I mean, is it going to happen? Probably not. But I'm just saying that it's a very easy. I mean, they're not going to win every single game. I mean, depending where LAFC is at that point in the season, maybe they ease up a little bit. But there's going to be factors that come into play. I think that aside from certain teams that are listed on that, it's a fairly favorable couple of games, and it's not like they have to win every single one, but get results.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it'll be interesting to follow. Tell you what, though, if certain teams lose even as early as this coming weekend and they're able to net a result against New England on the road again, whoo, man, things get really interesting in the final 5 to 6 games for most teams in that decision day stretch. So we'll see. Keep monitoring St. Louis. They technically are not out of it. It isn't over until it's over. So we'll find out.